Dead Space. Dead Space is a franchise that has existed since 2008 and so far has 5 installments, 2 animated features, and it's just about to have its 6th installment, that being the Dead Space remake. And with the release of the remake being just around the corner, let's have a look at what are the best games in the franchise, going from worst to best. Just a quick disclaimer though, this is my list, and if you happen to disagree with me, then hey, that's alright. Let me know in the comment section down below where you think these games should be placed. And without further ado, let's have a look at the list of all the Dead Space games ranked worst to best. Dead Space Ignition. Dead Space Ignition was a puzzle-based game that released in 2010, and just by default, in my opinion, is the worst game of Dead Space games. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm not the biggest lover of puzzle games, and in all honesty, the game is made around the weakest part of the Dead Space games. Like, how many people are playing Dead Space and going, wow, I can't wait to get to the next puzzle. No, you're going, how many limbs can I blow off that's necromorph in the next room? The comic book style of its story are actually pretty good and are actually some of the best parts of the game. But all in all, that's why Dead Space Ignition is, in my opinion, the worst of the Dead Space games. Dead Space Extraction. Okay, so here's something you might not know about me. I love rail shooters. It all started with House of the Dead Overkill, and I've loved them ever since, and Dead Space Extinction is no different. I did consider having this higher on the list, but in terms of rail shooter, it's not that different, it's not that unique. Its story is kind of cliched and not very interesting. It did give us a very unique gun that is only in this game. The characters are generic. You know, Dead Space Downfall tells a better story with what was going on. So if I was given the choice, I'd rather just watch Dead Space Downfall than play this game again. Dead Space 3. Not gonna lie, I originally had this higher on the list. See, like, I hadn't played Dead Space 3 until just a couple of months ago when me and my friend decided to play it for the first time. I've never played the game on solo. So, like, I get the whole hate for the microtransactions. They don't need to exist. But if you've never played Dead Space 3 because of that, grab one of your friends, go play this game, and trust me, you'll have a great time because there is a great game underneath all the controversy. Dead Space / the Dead Space remake. Time to talk about the OG, the big cheese, the best game in the series according to a lot of people, but to me it's definitely one of the best in the series, but in my personal opinion it's not the best game, in my opinion. I played the game when it first got released and I didn't complete it. It got to the part where the regenerators had low health, had a bad save point, and I was just permanently stuck and couldn't progress. So it wasn't until just a couple of weeks ago, in preparation for the remake coming out, that I actually played and completed the game with just using the plasma cutter. And I'm not gonna lie, it was great. I had a fun time, but it just felt like there was something missing, like a cherry on top. I have decided to group the remake with Dead Space simply because I do think the remake has a few surprises in store, and hell, maybe the remake will be number 1, but for right now I'm gonna put them both together. Dead Space 2. Dead Space 2 took everything Dead Space had built and built on top of it, made it better in almost every single way. When you think of some of the best moments in Dead Space, most of them are from the second game, you know? Being upside down, diving back to the planet, like going on a crazy run in a straitjacket. Like, yes, the Ishimura is so goddamn good and a great location to have the first game. I mean, hell, even revisiting the Ishimura on Dead Space 2 was great. And like, hell, I even like the multiplayer in this game, which I think still has players. Not a huge amount of players, but they still have players. And like I said, it took everything Dead Space had built and made every single aspect of it better. The weapons got fine-tuned and were some of the best weapons in the series. Dead Space 2 isn't just my favourite Dead Space game. It's one of my favourite games of all time. And that's, like, this is the game that gave me my love for Dead Space, and is the reason why I've played all these. Not Dead Space, not the Dead Space remake, not Dead Space 3, Dead Space 2 made me love this franchise and be proud to be a part of this community. So there you have it, guys. That is my ranking of all the Dead Space games, ranked from worst to best. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. This is my first ranking video, so if anybody has any advice for me, hell, let me know in the comment section down below. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and in the meantime, I've been Scottish, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.